Welcome to the Screen Zone podcast where we talk about movies, TV shows, games, everything geek. I'm your host Rahul. This is my co host Madhav, and we are discussing Spider Man No Way Home. And if you somehow clicked on this video and you still did not read the title, I have no clue how you operate
Or
throughout the
haven't
internet.
seen the movie.
I mean, see that I can get people seeing the movie. I don't get people not seeing the movie and stumbling across our video and still seeing, oh, शायद बिना spoil करके बोल रहे होंगे. I mean, I don't get
टाइटल
it.
स्पॉइलर लिखा है बट देखते हैं.
But regardless, thank you for tuning in, and let's just get into it. If you haven't seen, if you just want our non-spoiler thoughts or something, at least my thoughts, I did a no non-spoiler review of the movie. And Madhav, you can give us a quick
Which,
thoughts.
by the way,
Huh?
how the fuck
Yeah.
did you squeeze 15 minutes without talking about spoilers about this movie? What's
Dude,
wrong with you?
you should see the actual timeline of the edit.
But
It was like
you and the YouTube algorithm are just like made for each other, no?
I recorded it the day I saw it, which was the day before it released.
Just say
So
it's clickbait, no?
no, it's not clickbait. If it was clickbait, then the thumbnail would have been much more provocative. It was very simple.
That's your alibi, okay?
Yes, very
Okay, so movie,
genuine.
amazing movie. I love movie.
Yep. Oh God, I love this movie so much.
So
Yeah,
fucking
and
much.
from this point on, we're gonna go into full-on spoilers. No more dancing around. Madhav, let's take it back to the basics, right? What was your relationship to the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield movies? In a quick, what were your quick thoughts on those?
Um, Jizz to Toby movies, no jizz to Andrew movies.
Yep, everything is binary in this world.
Yes,
It's either jizz or no jizz.
to the point. So I love the Raimi trilogy so much. Not only have that was one of the first things my friend group and I bonded over,
Hmm.
the fact that we defend Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Uh, so that's how much I love the Raimi trilogy. And I saw so a lot of people were doing rewatches of all the movies. I only saw the Raimi trilogy
Oh, okay.
before seeing this. I only did a marathon of the Raimi trilogy.
Acha.
Because compared to that, what are the other movies? What?
You're not wrong there. I mean, you
And
have a
then,
point.
uh, and then this movie happened. There were no other movies in the middle.
Oh man. So yeah, I grew up with the Tobey Maguire, with the Sam Raimi's trilogy. I like the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Even the second one. I actually think the second one is slightly better than the first one, just because it does
I do
something
too.
new.
I do that. I think that also.
Yeah, and
No, not just something new. You see, the first one is so boring.
yeah, it is
And yeah, you're right.
very.
It's the same thing. They marketed as Untold Story,
Yeah,
which was the exact same story.
I don't. But yeah, the second one I do like, even though it has a lot of flaws. But there's just this feel about that second movie about Spider-Man that I really like. So love all of those movies.
The second one, I feel, approaches so bad it's good territory.
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
wouldn't
Yeah,
call it so bad it's good, but it approaches that
yeah, yeah.
in parts.
And
So yeah,
it's my birthday, Spider-Man. Let me. What was the line? Let's see how many
it's
candles
my
I can.
no, yeah, it's my birthday. Time to light my candles.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the MCU Spider-Man, and I have had a so generally I like Tom Holland's version and the movies, but I've had a roller coaster ride with those movies. Like I love him in Civil War. I think they got the character really well in Civil War. Then Homecoming was a really nice, like I had a fun time with it. Then Far From Home tried to do the same thing again that they already did in Homecoming, like the same
Kind of.
themes, sort of. And I enjoy Far From Home for what it is, but yeah, overall, I don't rank it too high on my Spider-Man tier. Um, and of course, the Avengers movies, he was really good in those. But now, No Way Home, right? How do you like after that crazy post-credit scene in Far From Home, where his identity is revealed, how do you even like that's a great place to put yourself in from a writer's perspective, to have that one thing that, like, even in the MCU, that has been a very weird thing, that everyone knows who the superheroes are, so why should Spider-Man be different? Like, what makes him having a secret identity matter? And that's a big part of this movie, of why him revealing his identity is a big deal for that character. And man, I love No Way Home. I have a few problems, but those are basically nitpicks. Those are not like real problems. I love this movie.
You're
God
wrong.
damn. Oh my god, I have an opinion. What will the internet do to me? But yeah, I think one of the like, I just want to get some of the smaller negatives out of the way. One thing that did stood out to me the both times I watched it was the editing, especially in the first half. It's very hasty. Like, it's not bad, but there were certain moments in the first half where I thought, yeah, they could have not just glossed over certain things. They could have just focused on certain moments. Like, there are scenes in the movie which you've seen in the trailers, and the trailers have more of a, what do you call,
Personality.
yeah, I guess personality, or I guess like they actually give some breathing room in the trailers for certain jokes or certain dialogues. In the movie, someone just says it and then they gloss over it in like half a second. But
Right.
I mean that like, overall structurally, that's basically my like nitpick. But my god, this movie was made for me. This movie, everything, all the memes, all the callbacks, all the
This movie,
payoffs,
I mean,
everything.
technically, if you think about it, this movie has been, what, 20 years in the making? 19 years in the making.
Yeah,
So this was made for all of us. This was like the best thing about it, was satisfying.
yeah,
That's the most apt word I can come up with. It was, yeah, exciting, fun, whatever. It was satisfying
yeah.
because, okay, those two.
Those two. Oh, MJ and Ned. Oh, you mean the high school teachers, right? Those two.
Yeah, those two.
Yeah, they're really funny.
What I
Oh
love
man.
is this felt like they made the most of this opportunity that they had.
Yeah.
I would have been fine if they just appeared in the third act,
Hmm.
but they appear like,
Just over halfway through the movie.
yeah, just a little over halfway through, which was good because then, like, there's so much you can do. It gives you more time to like do things, and they do it. Things like them comparing, talking about their own realities. Them, like, Ned says Peter, and all three of them are like, it's like, no, Peter Parker. They're all
We're all
Peter.
Peter Parker.
Ah! Things like that. The scene on top of the Statue of Liberty where he's
Hmm.
like, my back. That entire scene was exactly what I wanted from
Yeah.
this. And the fact that this movie ties everything of all three, I was about to say three trilogies, of all
Oh
three
God. Ouch.
series,
Yeah.
it ties it up in such a neat bow. It all, any loopholes that were there, it solves them.
Mhm.
Any inconsistencies were there, it addresses those and puts an end to them. This I I don't have words. This was
Yeah.
amazing.
This just like Andrew.
Just like I
Oh God. He was so good. By the way, I should say, like, this whole movie, my like the biggest highlights were for me Andrew and Willem Dafoe. I mean, everyone on
Willem
Twitter,
fucking Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe,
Dude,
holy shit. How am I?
I'm something of a scientist myself. And can Spider-Man come out to play?
Yeah. No, yeah, there's a lot of fan service, and they do it right. But that one scene before, right when Goblin turns, like that entire Peter Spider sense goes crazy. and he's trying to figure out like who's turning, what's happening. My God, that scene was done brilliantly by everyone, all the actors. The camera is great. It's just sticking on him.
That's another thing I love. John Watt's direction has gone like
Yeah.
insanely high.
Yep.
I don't know why he was fucking around with the past two movies. This he was. This is a brilliantly directed movie. I think
Hmm.
it is. It looks amazing. The yeah, he's just directed it well. I can't like say more.
Yeah, yeah. He's learned a lot from his previous, like both strengths and weaknesses, which I've said before in my non spoiler thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there were problems even in terms of composition and color grading. Like there's a bit of that here, but he has learned a lot from the previous. It looks like he has listened to all of the feedback that were given to him for the previous movies, like the whole Iron Man Junior thing. Right. There's a whole Iron Man Junior like meme on the Daily Bugle newscast. There's a fan mock-up of a spider baby in diapers. Is that Iron Man Junior? Something like that. And it's such a great it's so self-aware, not just in the meta like meme jokes or whatever, but in its narrative. Like they recognize what problems the fans have had while addressing the fans that do love this iteration. They service both of us. But also, I mean, my biggest problem going into this was how are they going to handle like five villains, three Spideys, on top of that, Doctor Strange, MJ, Ned, Aunt May, all that shit. And because Sony has had problems with trying that stuff a lot of times. I mean,
And
that's
every
their
time they
MO.
have tried it, yeah, and every time they have tried it, that's when they've gone like
Yeah,
bottom of the barrel.
yeah.
They've just
So
like,
for
yeah,
them to like really do it well here, I mean, as well as they probably could have. I mean, I mean, well done, Sony and Marvel. I mean, it's largely a Marvel production, but even then, like, Sony was authorizing everything, and Avi Arad
fuck Aviara.
thanked him. Did you see the thank you note? What? Where? He wrote it himself? He must have written it himself because I can't imagine. Oh, God. Oh man, if anyone is not watching the video and just listening to it, you're missing out. Oh God. But yeah, even then, even including that, I mean, you made a good movie. Be proud of yourselves, everyone involved with the movie. Um, so I mean, where do we? So yeah, the big surprise was Andrew and Toby, which everyone had basically known.
Surprise.
But the other, it would have been a surprise to like casual viewers if it hadn't leaked. But
Okay.
the other one that did leak, but even then a lot of people didn't know about it at all. Like no one saw it coming. Was Matt Murdock. Him just showing up, like it's not like he just showed up for like 30 seconds, did his thing,
Seeing,
went out.
yeah, I know. Okay. I know very little about the Daredevil series. I haven't seen it,
Huh.
and I know very little. I just know that there's that long take fight scene through that stairwell.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I've seen.
Okay.
But seeing how many people were like uh fanning over him, even though he was in the movie for 3.5 minutes.
Maybe.
Like his role was, I think, shorter than what Anil Kapoor was in Mission Impossible.
Oh God.
And I'm like, seeing how many people are fangirling over him, I'm like, okay, maybe I should really watch Daredevil. I want to. That's the only
Yeah.
Netflix show that I've like wanted to see
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Marvel. But yeah, dekhna chahiye. But yeah, even the 5 minutes he was in, me having no connection to the character, I
Mm-hmm.
loved him.
Yeah.
He catches the brick. I'm just a really good liar.
It's a great delivery. Also, about that though, I mean, yeah, the show is great. If you have time, watch it. But so you're not watching Hawkeye, right? So Hawkeye spoilers. They just introduced Kingpin in Hawkeye with the same guy playing Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio. till now they haven't answered whether these are the exact same versions from the show, and that's gonna be answered
Oh,
in this
Kingpin
week's.
was in the show's over.
They just like उसका बस photo दिखा है in the fifth episode. He's gonna be an actual character in the finale.
No, no, no. What I'm saying is he played Kingpin in the Netflix shows.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same actor.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So in the final episode, Hawkeye this week, we're gonna get like they have said that yeah, we're gonna answer whether it's really canon or not, the Netflix show. But regardless, even if it isn't, they got the two best parts of the show. The guy who played Daredevil and Kingpin, so I'm happy they're in the MCU officially. And oh man, such a great delivery. Charlie Cox was so good in that scene. And what was your theater's reaction? Like, did everyone cheer or did some people were confused? What was the reaction?
I very rarely feel tired after a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I felt tired of shouting and screaming and clapping and kind of crying, but
Yeah.
also very happy. But yeah, there were okay. Great power comes great responsibility,
No, no, no.
and
With great power, there must also come great responsibility. The original quote. That's the original line. If we're gonna nerd out about Spider-Man, I'm
forget
gonna
that.
nerd out about Spider-Man अच्छे से.
Okay.
ठीक है?
Great power comes great responsibility, and Toby's entry
Mm-hmm.
were two moments where I couldn't hear the movie
अच्छा.
because we were shouting and screaming for like a good 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I've only heard with great power, and after that the movie went silent because that's how loud people can be. We can overpower a fucking movie theater. So many moments,
Yeah.
like almost honestly, almost the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Every villain's entry, those two's entry, any reference made to anything, references like man, there's gotta be a black Spider-Man somewhere.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, another thing I love in this movie, Jamie Foxx.
Oh man, he's just Jamie
He
Foxx.
redeemed himself.
Yeah. He's basically Jamie Foxx if he got superpowers in real life.
Exactly. That's what Jamie Foxx, his best characters are basically him. Like this,
Yeah.
Baby Driver. You know, what was that movie? Collateral?
The
He
Netflix
did
movie
one.
where he
No,
got
no, no, no.
no.
The
Oh, the one with Tom Cruise.
Tom
Yeah,
Cruise on
yeah,
that.
I think Collateral, I think.
Collateral also. His when he plays himself, no, he
Mm-hmm.
does the best.
Yeah.
And that's what he did here. Like I think Marvel like figured out, let's not make him like a whiny pussy little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make him actually cool, and that worked.
Yeah.
There was that Doc Ock getting his chip back. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. Willem Dafoe
My
in
God, he
general,
in
he killed
general.
it, even as like an actor.
Yeah.
Because I saw, like I said, I saw the original movies,
Mm-hmm.
the Raimi trilogy, and the way he goes from Norman to Goblin in like the same shot.
Oh, the mirror
It
shot.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
mirror shot. No, and just regular shots when he's
Yeah.
in the final fight with Spider-Man,
Yeah.
where he's like, "Ah, you're my boy, Peter," or something, and then he just
Mm-hmm.
goes, "Godspeed, Spider-Man." He did that same thing here, and that is something I love because it's something that only he can do
Yeah.
as Goblin. Speak for a while. I need some water. Fuck.
My God.
God damn us.
I love the decision to have him actually show his face and smash that goblin mask, because I mean it's Willem Dafoe. You're getting and one thing I do have a it's like a small gripe, but every time he was really going crazy, Willem Dafoe, they seem to cut away from him, and I was like, just stay on him. Don't cut away to reaction shots. Just stay on him. I mean, the second time I was watching it, that was even more noticeable, where you actually don't see him too much when he's going full goblin, like the actual camera shots. They kind of in the scene where he turns, you see reaction shots more than him actually. But I love the shot right after when, my God, like in this movie, Peter got his ass beat, like just like the Raimi movies. Like it wasn't like clean
And that's
CGI fight; it
exactly.
was a full MMA fight.
No, no, not just as ass beat, like as a character. And
Yeah,
that's why Spider-Man 2 is so great.
yeah,
Sam Raimi figured out that to get the best story out of Spider-Man, you cannot give Peter Parker a break.
yep.
You have to constantly beat him down in as Spider-Man in his life. Nothing has to work out for him.
Hmm.
And that's what they did here. And that's another thing I love about this movie that I was actually discussing with a friend. That was one of my concerns going in. Ki I hope just because they have everyone from the previous movies, I hope it doesn't detract from MCU Spidey's story,
Yeah,
which it didn't. The entire driving force is his motivations, which
yeah.
is
It.
amazing. That is exactly what I wanted. And that's exactly what I felt would have made a strong Spider-Man movie.
Hmm.
Because that's the same reason I like Homecoming. A lot of that movie is his motivations.
Yeah,
And that's the same reason I don't like Far From Home, because a lot of that movie is Jake Gyllenhaal's motivation, not
yeah,
his.
yeah. He's more in a reactionary phase
He's
in that
more in a
movie.
exactly. That's why I don't really like Far From Home, because it's not like, it's not his movie. It's
Hmm.
called Spider-Man, but it's not his movie. It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah,
And this movie, finally, I feel Tom Holland as an actor did amazing. And as a story, what they did with the character, I feel now if someone calls Tom Holland their definitive Spidey, it makes sense.
yeah,
Up till now, it was like, yeah, he is a Spider-Man,
yeah,
but he didn't feel like a solid Spider-Man.
yeah. I agree.
This movie finally made him feel like that, which is that's what I'm saying. This movie just tied everything up in a neat little fucking bow, and it was made for fans
Hmm.
of Spider-Man and of like these the all the previous movies. Now, what I want to know is, I want to know the point of view of someone who was not a fan of these movies,
Yeah.
or either not a fan or hasn't even seen them.
Hmm.
Because the true way to know whether fan service was the reason a movie worked is if you remove the fan service, does the movie still work?
Yeah.
So I
Um,
want to know someone like that's perspective, which I don't think that there's going to be so few people like that.
yeah, no, I mean, I think for the villains, it works to an extent. I mean, they kind of give like quick, brief one-liners and all, but I don't think
Yeah,
it.
but that's the thing. No, it's still verbal exposition.
Yeah, yeah.
They're relying on our knowledge of the previous movies, which
Oh
is
yeah,
why they
yeah,
can
yeah.
make it
This,
make
I mean, I don't. I mean, I think as a story, like as a standalone Spider-Man story, it works well. But for the movie that it is, it does require prerequisite knowledge of some sort.
yeah,
Like even if you haven't seen, let's say you haven't seen Spider-Man 3 or Amazing Spider-Man 2, let's say you've just seen one of the previous movies, you still need some form of like some recap or some friend filling you in some details, something like that.
exactly.
But I mean that's not something I'm worrying about, right? That's more of a question of how will this movie stand for future generations. Like even today, people watch the Raimi movies for what they are, and they enjoy them so much, right? Spider-Man 2, you can watch it any day. You don't need any like prerequisite knowledge or whatever. Even the Mark Webb movies, you can just watch them as they are. For this one, obviously with Homecoming and Far From Home, you needed some MCU knowledge because stuff happens between those movies.
Yeah,
um, for No Way Home, you do need some knowledge, but I think we'll just have to wait and see how people react to it over the years.
yeah. I want to see how this ages also.
Yeah, because as a event film, as a fan event film, it's one for the ages.
Killer, amazing.
But just as a film itself, I mean, we'll just have to see. But I
Yeah.
mean, hey, I'm a fan, and I feel serviced very well. I'm something of a fan myself.
Yeah.
God, that one line where he says it. I mean, see, I always thought that yeah, Remy memes. I mean, it's sort of a niche community. But the first time I saw it was at a press screening. ठीक है? And usually at press screenings, you didn't see too much of cheering and all in the theater, right? It's usually at the first day showings or the fan screenings or the normal public screenings, the first opening weekend basically. But even the press screening, people were laughing their asses off at the meme references and the jokes and everything.
Nice,
So I mean,
nice.
that's a positive. That's a good sign.
And that's what I like about movies like these, where like an entire audience can just like be so excited about something.
Yeah.
I love that because the same thing happened in Infinity War and Endgame,
Oh yeah. Those are
and
like,
that hasn't really happened in any of the other MCU movies.
yeah, no,
At least for
not to
me,
that extent.
all the ones, yeah, all the ones that I've seen in the theater, Infinity War, Endgame, and this were the only
Mhm.
one where people were like properly shouting and screaming every 3 seconds.
Oh God.
There was
Man, I love
that
this
in the
movie.
post credit scene when Eddie Brock comes.
I think that's the best joke the MCU has ever played. I think that's the best. Like, if you had to define to someone what the working relationship between Sony and Marvel is, just show them those two post-credit scenes. Where you see Venom and Sony just somehow, like, in the most surface level way, tying, like, putting him in the MCU. And for like 4 months, people were theorizing, oh my God, he's gonna be in No Way Home. Oh my God, this, that. And then here Feige's like, nah, fuck that. I'm not touching that shit. just
We'll
get him
just
out
leave
of
one
here.
drop behind and you can go.
Just get me some like small foundation and just let him do his own thing. I don't want to do anything with him. I love it. I think that was the funniest thing. Everyone was talking, oh my God, who's gonna be the sixth member of the Sinister Six, right? Well, there was a Sinister Six. The sixth member didn't show up.
The sixth member was this one, no, Peter's morality.
Oh, yep,
And
it's Peter
that's
himself.
kind of
Ooh.
a gripe that I have a little bit, I guess.
Okay.
But it's not something that bothers me. It's just something that I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think um while the motivation of Peter feels strong,
Hmm.
I didn't think the reasoning was um I wouldn't say it wasn't strong, it just wasn't as strongly expressed.
Okay.
Because his motivation, at least the reason was we can't let these people die.
Yeah.
They're going to die and we can't let them die.
Mm-hmm.
Now, while that fits Spider-Man's character and for his story that makes sense, that's not the strongest reason because it's like that's every superhero. We
Yeah.
can't let people die.
Yeah. I think that was just a surface level, not like that was the basis, but I think the bigger point was when May tells him ki you need to help these people, not just not send them back immediately, but fix these people. I think that was the bigger point, that like even when he tries at his condo, right, trying to fit everyone, fix everyone, that I'm not just gonna not let them die. I'm gonna try to make them better human beings. I'm gonna see the good in them. I think that was the bigger point. But yeah, I can see
Yeah, I
like,
know that was the bigger point, but like
yeah,
you as a movie you have to sort of transition us into it.
huh,
And I don't think, oh, we can't let them die is the strongest
yeah, I get that.
transition.
I get that. I have a couple of like questions can be turned into nitpicks. So when Doctor Strange says that it pulled in people who know Peter Parker is Spider-Man, right? Electro never knew. He never knew Peter was Spider-Man in Amazing Spider-Man 2, did he? I mean, I don't recall any scene where he like actually explicitly realizes that he's a guy called Peter Parker. He might have overheard it during the final battle because Gwen is also there and she's shouting Peter or something. That's possible. That's one thing that was kind of. I mean, it's not a problem. It's just like an observation. And obviously the
No,
bigger
no,
one.
no. Because
Huh?
who else would they have brought it?
Yeah, yeah. Tofu
Dane
days.
DeHaan?
Yeah. Oh God. And then another one, even though this is sillier, but this one makes sense. Venom. Venom has no reason to be in this movie. He has no reason to be transported to the MCU from what we know of how the spell worked. But In Venom 2's post credit, the symbiote tells Eddie that we share a hive knowledge with the other symbiotes. So it's a stretch, but you can theorize that, yeah, maybe the symbiote knows about Peter from Spider Man 3 through the multiverse somehow. It's a comic book movie. People make stretches all the time. So it's a sillier thing. Like, that guy should not be in this movie, but it kind of
Yeah.
makes sense if you want it to.
I really wanted to make sense because it was fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. That's all the reasoning I need. I don't need like a
Yeah.
in movie logic reasoning for everything.
Also,
Like yeah, this elective thing. I don't care if
yeah,
he
I don't
knew
care
Peter or
either.
not. He
Yeah,
redeemed
yeah,
himself.
yeah.
That's what matters.
I just thought he was gonna be black. But I love it.
Speaking of Miles, there
Uh-huh.
was that one like when um the sort of I don't know what you want to call it. The
Multiverse tier.
reality
Yeah.
opens. Yeah, that tear happens. Split second.
Mhm.
Me and Krita, you thought Miles,
Okay, I definitely saw
Craven the
Rhino,
Hunter, and
Craven and
Rhino.
Rhino. I saw them. I didn't
Yeah.
see anyone else. Like, even the second time it happened so quickly, it's hard
I'm
to
sure.
notice.
Yeah, I'm sure there were, but we were just pulled to those two maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
probably. Also, I would have liked to see. I would have liked to have seen Thomas Hayden Church and Reese Evans actually be there.
yeah, not through archival footage. No.
Yeah, yeah, that was so obvious. Like, that was archival.
But
I mean,
then, like, yeah, if the actors are not agreeing to it, then
I mean,
take another.
they
That's
did
fine.
voice them. I didn't catch it in the credits. Did you? Like, did they actually voice them? I think they did, but I
I
didn't
mean,
see
if
the
they
actual
haven't
credit.
voiced them, then they've got like really good impersonators,
Yeah, yeah. But I guess it was a scheduling issue more than anything else, probably because of COVID and all.
possible.
But that's fine. Like, that's also just a small thing. I like the moment when Sandman he sits on the chair and he's just, oh, sorry, he's wiping off the sand. If you're gonna use a full-on CGI character, might as well make a full use of him.
Make it funny. Okay,
Yeah,
one thing I want to talk about. What do you think of Aunt May dying?
I liked it. I think they. I mean, it could have gone either way when she gets hit by the glider. She
Hmm?
could have died right then and there, or like right after the blast. But I liked. I'm fine with them stretching it a little bit, if only because she gives him that moral compass that no, we were doing the right thing. Uh, and obviously the line, that's a good thing to put in there. Like, she basically becomes this Peter's Uncle Ben, because really they've never mentioned Uncle Ben aside from one small reference in Homecoming. And
Ah, they had
even,
mentioned it. Yeah, I remember.
yeah, in Homecoming, when she says right after Tony takes away his suit and he goes back to the apartment, Aunt May says that after all that happened, something something. Uh, so I guess in this universe he just died or something, but that doesn't matter. The better point is that what happened to the other Peters, the same thematic, uh, the plot point still happens somehow. I'm fine. Oh my god, Tom Holland, my god, he acted the hell out of that scene when May
Killed it in
dies.
this.
He
He
killed it in
killed
that
it.
scene. And
That scene, I feel the entire movie, but yeah, I get it. That scene specifically,
yeah, he
insane.
like when he realizes that, yeah, she has been hit, she's bleeding. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
part of me just wanted when she gets hit by the glider right before she gets hit, she goes, "Oh." I feel a bit worse for Happy
Oh god, yeah.
because he's anything but in this movie.
Yes. When he asked Doctor Strange, happy? No, I am not happy. No, 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 happy is a guy. But also with Aunt May, right? With Aunt May, they sort of redeemed her from the previous two movies, which a lot of people have had problems, and even I did with Homecoming and Far From Home, where she was just chill with Peter being Spider-Man and getting into dangerous situations. Like, she was never that that moral compass that she is in all the other media. But in this one, her character, she was actively, like, she was a good character. She was not just there for eye candy or
Yeah,
fluff or
yeah, I know.
whatever. She had some. Alfred Molina, are you thirsty?
um, I didn't mind her in Homecoming. I thought her
Yeah,
and Peter's
Homecoming it was
relationship
still
in
fine. Far
Homecoming
From
was
Home, I did
pretty
not
nice.
like her.
It was pretty sweet. In
Mhm.
Far From Home, she was just also there because
Yeah,
Happy needs to be there because Happy is plot device in that movie.
she needs to make happy happy. Uh,
Yeah,
that was basically her entire thing in the
like
second one.
yeah, I keep going back to John Watts' direction, man. Like that long take when
Yeah.
Peter enters the apartment
Hmm.
and he's like, and Happy's like, oh, we just broke up. And that entire long take, there's that one shot stands out in my mind, the right after Aunt May dies,
Hmm.
and there is uh Peter is sitting in front of that screen with J. Jonah
Oh
Jameson.
yeah, yeah, yeah. In the
A
rain. Yeah,
fucking shot, especially in IMAX,
yeah.
crazy. That and that one moment, a lot of moments with the three of them landing on the Statue of Liberty one by one,
Hmm.
and when the three of them they run off that plank and swing in unison,
Yep.
and then the trailer shot happens where they kick all three of them. Oh my god!
Ah, and props to all those like Toby and Andrew. They just slipped right back in. Like Toby, I love that meta moment when first, like in my theater, it like they just graphed it. It was like they had calculated every audience reaction, and they to some extent they do with test shoots and all. But
100%.
first, Andrew comes in right through the portal, so everyone is
Yeah,
cheering, hey, and then he pulls off the mask, and everyone cheers even like 10 times more. Like yeah,
yeah.
it's actually him on set. It's not just like him doing the voice or whatever. And then Toby walks in. It's just a warmth. He just radiates warmth and
He's
like
just so sweet.
comfort. He's so, and even the grandma is like, hi. Like it's like she knows him. I love it so
What is it?
much.
She's Ned's Lola.
Lola, yeah. she, she,
Fuck everyone. She was the best character in the
oh
movie.
my god, she was so good. Oh,
Yeah,
even other characters, right? Like MJ and Ned. Uh, MJ, like Zende, I have liked her, liked her as in the actress, as like in the movies, but not the character itself. Like she's not really a character in these movies. Like we don't know anything about her except like she wants to be with Peter. Like with in the Raimi movies with Mary Jane, she was active. Like she was her own character. She had a whole thing with the theater and
yeah.
everything.
She was a. I would say she was kind of a weak character,
Yeah,
but at least she was way more important to Peter's story because she actually impacted his story
yeah.
in that with the decision she made.
Yeah, and she was an
Here,
independent character. She was like her only reason to be in the movies wasn't just to be Peter's love interest. Like she had something going on. Even in Amazing Spider-Man, Emma
in
Stone,
that sense, yeah, I agree.
she had
In that though, she makes it a point. Okay,
yeah,
this is my decision, Peter. It's my life, Peter. She makes it a point to be her own character, Peter.
yeah. Oh man, but here, I mean, I like they gave her more to do in this movie, just from a acting standpoint to some extent. I mean,
I like
she
that they gave her more to do in this movie than in Dune.
oh yeah. Oh god, that's
This is a movie that knows when you have Zendaya in your movie, give her screen time. You killed off the other eye candy of the movie.
oh. Oh man, no, but oh, we haven't talked about Alfred Molina. So good. I that highway sequence. Oh god, I love that. I love that it's not just a fight. Like I love the escalation of stakes there. The first thing is when they start fighting, and he says, "I should have killed your girlfriend then," and then Peter gets that. Oh wait, you said what? And then he gets a little aggressive, and then he has to try to save that family, and then he has to save the that MIT administrator. So there's it's not just an empty fight between them. There's something else going on, which is the best thing. Which are these micro struggles which I really like in these movies. Like Raimi did
Yeah,
it so well in his
yeah. Raimi
movies.
did it beautifully. I was watching Spider-Man 2. I'm like,
Oh yeah,
this can be like a drama. This
Yeah,
can like you can it is a drama which has superheroes in it. It's not a
yeah,
superhero movie.
yeah. In the Raimi movies, no fight was ever just a fight because we need to have a set piece. There were
Yeah,
some like mini struggles, like mini objectives Spidey had in the fights,
mini
or
objectives,
the
many
villains
things
had.
that fucked with Peter, like small
Yeah.
things like at that party he doesn't get to eat or drink anything. He goes for it and someone else takes that is so even the way that is shot, that is so Sam Raimi, no. Like camera ke ekdam samne, someone just brings something, he reaches, someone else takes it out of frame. That is so Sam Raimi. I love it.
Oh man, I
But
can't wait for Doctor Strange
yeah,
2.
this I think I will have to see it again to know where
Hmm.
this ranks, but so far I think it ranks in like the top four maybe.
Okay.
For me, it's still Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 2, and then whatever.
Yeah. I can't compare it directly to any of the other ones just because it is like a
I
culmination
can
sort of
compare it
thing.
to Amazing Spider-Man. It's better.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure, you got me there. I mean, for me, the top three, not in any particular order, but it's Spider Verse, Spider Man Two, and this one.
Mm.
I don't want to put any of these above the other ones. Like they're all great for different reasons. Spider Man Two, as a just as a story of its own, is so good.
Yeah.
Spider Verse, both as a standalone and a like spectacle group thing. No Way Home can be compared to Spider Verse to some extent, but even then, No Way Home I think requires some more previous knowledge, more so than Spider Verse. So they're all great at different things, and that's a good thing. I mean, I can have all three of them. I don't have to choose.
Hmm. Hmm.
And oh, I'm so pre-ordering the 4K Blu-ray for this. It's also cheap right now on Amazon.
What else is there to talk about? I feel like we are missing something.
Doctor Strange. We didn't talk much about him.
I mean, he's not much in the movie.
I've been dangling on the Grand Canyon for 12 hours.
That was such a. I have been
Yeah,
falling
I've been
for
falling.
30 minutes. Ah, I love that.
I love the moment when in that Doctor Strange and Spidey fight, like Spidey actually, I love how it even develops Peter's character in that scene where wait, the mirror dimension is just geometry. You're great at geometry. You can do it. You can just divide by pi, square by
and I love
radius,
how
whatever.
it actually works. Fucking nuts.
I mean,
Um,
he's a nerd, and they fully like explore that in the science lab scene with all the three Peter Parkers. They're all just like making solutions.
they're all just, yeah, doing some sciencey shit. There's that moments like Toby saying to Andrew, "Oh, don't give up hope. It finally worked out for me." Things like that are so
Yeah,
needed when you're doing this.
yeah,
You know, it that's what I'm saying. Going back to what I was saying in the beginning only, I love that they just did as much as they possibly could with this opportunity. Could
yeah,
they have done more? Of course, that because imagination is endless. But the amount that they did do, I am thoroughly satisfied.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Anything else? Are we missing something?
It feels like we are, but I
Yeah.
don't think we are. So yeah, I love the end of this movie as a story, and even like the ending scene.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that moment that like he shares with MJ, I liked it. It did come off as a little bit corny,
Mm-hmm.
but in that moment, I was like, what else would you have done also? This was
Yeah.
the only thing to do. And that final look he shares with Ned, that's kind of when my heart actually shattered.
Ah.
Because like he doesn't get to do the handshake. He just has to see him be there.
Yeah.
There was that. And even Toby and Andrew's final shot is like, you're in so much pain, aren't
I
you? I am.
am.
Love it.
It's so well. Andrew Garfield, you can just tell that guy brought all the energy he got from the cancelled Spider-Man 3. Like he brought all the energy he could have.
And that's what he's not a bad Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's good. The movie he was in was shit.
I'm not
And
a bad
Sony
Spider-Man. I
is
just
shit.
got bad luck.
There's So yeah, that and like I want to see more of that suit now, which he's wearing at the end because
Oh
it
yeah.
is a different suit, no?
Yeah,
A very cool looking suit.
it's a full on comic book accurate suit, and I love for once it's not just muted colors. It's actually bright red and bright blue,
Yeah,
and that
yeah,
blue is
bright.
super bright. It's not dark blue or whatever. It's like sky blue, full on. I love it. I
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
like the old animated series, no?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With the even the spider logo is kind of inspired by Toby, where
I
it's
noticed.
not as angular. It's sort of it's a little bit more like the cartoons, like a bit more round.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically like the Civil War suit, but without those borders and all. Like it's
Mm.
more hand stitched. Like he even does it with a sewing machine in his room. Right before he leaps off from his room, you can see the sewing machine.
Mm.
Oh man, and my God, it leaves him in such a lonely place. I mean, it's heartbreaking, but that's what you
And
want from Peter
yeah,
Parker.
that's what you want from Peter Parker. He is the guy who just like doesn't catch a break. No,
Yeah.
he and that's what I'm a little curious about. What sort of relationships now is he gonna have moving forward? Because I felt the ones he had as Peter sort of kept him like that's what made him a stronger character.
Mhm.
I now want to see what they do with that because
Mhm.
वो तो चला Happy is gone, MJ is gone, Ned is gone.
Yeah.
It'll be really weird if they retcon it and just like sort of remind them.
Yeah, I
And
hope
I
they
feel
don't. I
it'll
mean, that would
still
be
be
the
weird.
yeah,
That'll be that's like the worst case scenario.
yeah.
But like now I want to see how they what they do with him as a character.
Hmm.
I have a feeling Sony's gonna fuck it up, which is why I'm glad we have this movie.
I think it's the
We
best
have to.
ending they could have done because I mean, this movie was finished like a year back, right? So at
Mm.
that point, like obviously Marvel and Sony, they've both said that we've liked this partnership, we want it to continue. But officially speaking, till now, like this is the final movie in his contract, in Tom's contract. So they left it in a place where they can continue either way. Like let's say Marvel doesn't work with them, Sony just does it on their own. They left it in a way Sony can continue on their own. They left it in a way Marvel can also pick up from here. So it's a smart ending, and it's also a great ending for the character for this movie. And
Yeah,
that's why it's like it just makes sense. It makes sense on all fronts, on business front, on the writing front. It makes sense.
yeah.
And I think from here we can just go to his college life. And like this whole trilogy has been his origin story. Like it's been the longest, most
Technically, yeah, it has
yeah.
been
Like now he's Spider-Man.
coming of age movies.
Like it's the first origin story where guy goes to space, fights aliens, dies, comes back. Oh, now I am the superhero. Now I'm the comic book superhero.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, I love this movie. Oh, so
Awesome.
anything else are we missing? No, Doctor Strange done, Multiverse done. I think yeah, that's mostly we covered everything. Quick thoughts on the Doctor Strange trailer, post credits, man. Did you get Sam Raimi vibes? Anything?
Mm, yeah, I did you watch the trailer?
I got from the
That
horror.
entire that entire where that place is flooded.
Uh-huh.
I forget the name of it, but that where it's flooded, that is so Sam Raimi horror.
Yeah.
So Sam Raimi. And the design of Strange Supreme,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
total Sam Raimi.
Also, they like this sort of canonized what's the word, like making something canon. They did that for What If, where that may or may not be the same Doctor Strange at the
Mm,
end. I mean,
that's
probably is
cool.
the same, but there's a chance he might not be.
That's cool.
Even if
Um,
he is the same, they just need like one line of backstory. That's it. Like I'm from a universe where everything went wrong. Blah. Done.
I want to see what happens to Wanda. Is she gonna
Oh
be a
yeah.
villain or no?
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, fuck all of that, Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah, he's in the movie.
Bruce
But
Campbell.
what I'm more interested in? And when Bruce Campbell
Is
put
he
up
a
put
cameo or is he a
well,
character?
no, he put up a tweet last year when they were shooting the movie, and the tweet was
Good
it
to
was
be
just a,
shooting with old
yeah,
friends or
it was a
something.
photo of like London skyline where they were
Yeah.
shooting the movie. It was boy, it sure was special. It sure was something to shoot with a certain director, with a certain actor in a certain city. We know the director, the actor. I mean, the tweet makes it sounds like Toby. I mean, it would make sense. So, and they have the multiverse. I'm not getting anyone's hopes up,
Unless he's
but
referring to the actor being himself,
oh
as in
wow,
Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell
oh
in a
wow.
city again. You know?
But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I guess that's it.
that's it. We love the movie. Go watch it. I mean, we probably already have the records it's breaking. It's crazy the amount of money it's. I mean, it was always gonna
I'm
make
not
money,
surprised. Yeah.
but it's making. I mean, so as of now, it has made 600 million worldwide,
Hmm?
and it's Monday. The film's budget was probably 250 million at most 250
It's
million.
doubled its budget in 4 days.
Also, without China, it didn't get released in China. China is like the biggest movie market, or the like the second biggest movie market in the world. So
Damn, that is crazy.
it beat its opening weekend is just behind Endgame in a COVID like lockdown era
In a lockdown.
with the Omicron variant at large.
No one gives a fuck, dude. We were all like going in like, yeah, as long as we don't get COVID before the 16th, we're
हाँ,
fine.
उसके
उसके बाद
बाद
जो होना है
I
होने
have
दो.
nothing left and then the
I am
blank.
not, yeah, I don't. It's okay if I don't watch Matrix.
Yeah.
You know,
I love Raimi memes is just going like I love browsing Raimi memes now. They used a shot of me after I watched No Way Home. It's just shot from Spider-Man 2. Now what?
yeah,
Oh, God. I have nothing left except Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
yeah.
Oh god. But yeah, that was about it. Great movie. Watch it. Watch it multiple times. And thank you for tuning in. We'll have more to talk about. We still haven't made a video about Eternal,
I
Shang-Chi, and
forgot to put a
yeah, you didn't put up anything. What
Spider-Man. No way, these two weren't gonna come home.
you could have done better.
Your face could have done better.
All right, thank you for tuning in. I'll have a Matrix review up soon. If not a video, then a written review, non spoiler, and maybe we'll talk about it. Who knows? But thank you. Tada. Bye bye.